Today, I am going to talk to you about creating the compelling digital footprint that will make your target audience want to talk to you. And one of the ways that you can do that is by being a LinkedIn posting expert, swapping a few things around on your LinkedIn profile. So today I'm going to share my screen with you. This week I had the pleasure of conducting a seminar at Hub Sorrento Valley, twice a year events they do where they open up the doors for the whole community in San Diego. The public's welcome to come in. They did a wonderful program from 10 to 2 with different gurus on different subjects. My subject for the day was social selling. From the time I got in there till the time I tapped out, there was a line of people wanting to find out more information about social selling strategies. I can tell you that, when you're really passionate about something and you talk without taking a breath, like I just did, you know that you're really into your passion and you're into your lane. It was fun. Thank you so much, Sarah, for letting me share that knowledge with you. And if you were there, thank you so much for attending. I grew my LinkedIn following from that as well. So you guys get out, talk about what you're passionate about. If you're passionate about something, you already know 10x more than the next person. If you make a mistake, nobody's going to know about it. All right. So trust me on that. Not that I made any mistakes, of course. So today I'm going to share my screen a little bit, and we're actually going to go through editing and making your headline on LinkedIn, how it should look instead of saying, I'm the best National Director of Sales. LinkedIn has gone way past being a platform for your resume. It's no longer a resume holder. If you're on LinkedIn to just chit chat with old colleagues or look for a job only, you're so missing out on an opportunity. You can connect with high-level executives. You can connect with people of influence. There's so much you can do with it. And today we're going to at least just start with your headline. So let me share my screen. I'll show you this PowerPoint that I made, just a simple PowerPoint. So we're going to talk about the secret weapon for building your digital footprint. What is a digital footprint, right? It's all the dirt, it's all the good, it's all the bad. Everything you put, that's your footprint, right? If you've been in the news, if you've Googled yourself, if you've been in a play, if you've written an article, if you're a teacher and you've volunteered at things, all of those things make up your digital footprint. That is what we're talking about, a digital personal footprint. It's tangible, it's visible, it's a characteristic that represents your personality and your spirit. Every time you interact on social media, you're broadening your opportunity to create that digital footprint, and you want to be in control of it. And that's what I continue to preach to you, is to be in control and to make sure that you're the one showing up as you want to be seen by your target market, because you have to know yourself to grow yourself. All right. So personal brand stands the test of time, and it comes from your own unique personal story. I'm going to be writing a blog on my hero's journey, where I was, what I was doing, what made me do what I'm doing today. So that's to come. We're going to go through a section on that as well, like understanding your hero's journey, understanding your origin story. We're going to break it down to the simple so that you too can make sure to articulate where you were, where you're going to in the future, and how you got there. So your digital footprint, we've talked about being relatable, compelling, interesting, and a spirit that helps others want to be associated. Next slide. Why is it important? We know this as well. It's a loud world out there, as loud as my painting. And you need to be able to stand out from that crowd, right? You need to be memorable. I don't know if I told you guys this, something that I thought was kind of fun and interesting. On the podcast that I was on for the Flight Club with Felina Hansen, I had somebody send me a message on LinkedIn that said, hey, listen to the podcast and you really stood out because you're a biologist. I really love to garden. I love the fact that that's what stood out for me. You don't know what people are going to grab onto that they connect with. So you need to make sure that you are putting things out there that make you unique. So maybe I'm the only biologist social seller that exists in the world, and I'll own it. I'll own it proudly. So the development of your personal identity, create a credible, visible digital existence that showcases your unique capabilities. All right, next. LinkedIn, we're talking about that. LinkedIn continues to grow more and more every day. I'm telling you, maybe it's just because I'm totally in it right now, but everybody's starting to talk about LinkedIn. Everybody wants to know how to be in it. Everybody wants to know what to do with it. B2B, right? You need to be on Twitter and you need to be on LinkedIn. We're going to start getting into, as the year goes on, how to be a successful social seller on Twitter as well. Right now, our focus is on LinkedIn because it's the jam. I'm telling you, opportunities are abound. You need to be there. You need to be present. You need to be active, and you need to learn about the different algorithms that are going to help you be seen and trend. Hashtag social selling. Marketing on LinkedIn helps you engage a community of professionals to drive actions that are relevant to your business. All right, 4 tips that we are going to talk about to establish your digital personal brand on LinkedIn. Know your keywords. What's a keyword and why is it important to you? When you personally are going to, let's use the word Google, because that's, I'm pretty sure, what everybody uses. If you're not using Google, then you're just not cool. So when you type in some words on Google, what are those words that you're looking for when you're looking for a person to help you with something? So when you think about what your keywords are as a B2B professional, what are the words that your target market's going to use when they're typing into that search bar and they're looking for someone with your expertise? What I'd like for you to do is to take the time to write down the keywords on a piece of paper. What are people going to search for when they look for you on any digital platform? So write those down, because those words are super important. As we go on in our work together, we're going to talk about how you're going to integrate those words not only into your headline, but into the about section of your LinkedIn profile. Peek as to what we're going to get to in the future. So that's one thing I need you to do. The second thing that I need you to do is to really look at the banner section above your profile on LinkedIn. That is the first thing that's going to catch someone's eye when they land on your profile. When you look at your LinkedIn profile, you're going to first see their banner that's behind their head. Here's my LinkedIn profile. You can see the banner that's here. That is one of the first things that your audience is going to see when they land on your profile. So that can be customizable. That photo needs to be a visual representation of the world you want to take your target market into. So if you're talking about eyelashes, you're wanting a picture of eyelashes. If you're an employee and you're just doing some personal branding, that if you're not putting behind you something to do with your company that you work for, then you want that picture to be a representation about one of your passions. You know, if you like outside, it's a picture of outdoors. I wouldn't recommend putting a picture of your children up there as your LinkedIn coach, because there's some freaking weirdos on LinkedIn, and I just don't feel right by sharing family things on there, because you just don't know who these people are. Personally, I would keep my kids out of LinkedIn and save that for my safer space of Facebook, because my Facebook page is locked down and I don't let people in there that I don't know. But on LinkedIn, your banner needs to represent something you're passionate about, some inside peek that somebody might say, wow, I've been there, or I love the ocean, or I love horses, or something that's going to help them connect to you on a different level other than just the words. So that's your ability to have some visual representation and an inside peek about you. In that banner, if you're a B2B person and you're putting that banner about your business, you want to include some type of call to action. We talk about this in step 2 with our social selling strategy, which is, why are you online? What do you want them to do when they go to your profile? Do you want them to call you? Do you want them to take a quiz? Do you want them to head to a website? Do you want to drive them to a landing page? Do you want them to just get to know you? Are you launching a new product? Maybe you want to put that product up on the banner. Some call to action that is super meaningful to you at that time. Remember, this is digital, so it's not like you put it up and you're one and done. You can change this banner, not daily and not monthly, but you can change it up to represent what's going on with your business at a time. Professional headshot. I don't mean to be sexist at all, but there are some men that I have seen more than women that don't put a professional headshot on their LinkedIn profile. A lot of them put themselves with buddies golfing and their arms are wrapped around each other, and they cut off the people around them. Or they are at a formal event because they don't really put ties on that often, and they're with their significant other, and that person's cut off on the picture. People spend $20 or $30 or whatever it is to get a professional headshot done, and voila, you will definitely step up your game. Because I'll tell you, when people send me LinkedIn connections and the headshot's bad, can't get past, I'm like, they don't even deserve my connection request because they didn't take the time to do their professional photo. So that's me. I don't know what other people might be thinking, but it's a super important thing. The fourth thing that we're talking about is writing a compelling headline. So let's take a second. I wish I could talk to all of you guys. Maybe we should start doing a Zoom live stream so that we can have some interactions with people while we're doing these small little llama corn wisdom tips, social selling. So writing a compelling headline. In those characters, if you're writing your headline on your desktop, you can do 120 characters on desktop. So you're limited to that number of characters, which it would include special characters or spaces or emojis or whatever you're putting in your headline. You would press the pencil that you can see next to the LinkedIn logo, and you would edit your headline, but write it out on a Word document first or a notepad before you start playing around on your phone. Also, a super important tip I'll post in the comments below, make sure you go to the sharing profile changes section of LinkedIn, because when you start playing around with your headline or your keywords or changing things around, you don't want everything every time you do it to amplify that and send it out to your followers or your connections. You want to make sure and shut it down. So I have instructions on how to do that. I can show you. It's super simple. So you want to turn off the sharing profile changes with your network while editing. To adjust notifications, set your network about profile changes from your settings and privacy page. So I show you my phone. So I will send this out to you so that you guys can, if you can read it right now, do a screenshot or whatever you want, but I'll send that out so that you know to turn that off, because if you're like me, once you start editing something, you're going to go back and change it, and I don't really like that word and I want to go back. So always make sure to copy what you're doing and paste it somewhere too, in case you do really mess up and you want to revert it back to the old version. So editing some of those things on your desktop will be easier than doing it on your phone, unless you're super young and super agile on your phone and you don't have tech issues. All right. There's 3 important things that your headline needs to answer on LinkedIn, right? I would go as far to say that you could also have this type of thing on Instagram or on Twitter, whatever you're doing. 3 questions at a minimum that need to be answered. What business problem you solve for your customers. So you're going to weave that into your headline. Who do you help? I help female entrepreneurs. I help busy stay-at-home moms. I help people who have floods. Whatever it is you do, make sure that you mention that into the headline. You're building keyword SEO, and you're also identifying with your target market immediately when they hit your profile, so they know who you are and what you're doing. And then you're going to talk about how you help them. With those 3 questions in mind, I want to share the screen and just give you, I did some fun examples about answering these 3 questions, right? So here's the first example. So Frida the Llamacorn, who we all know where she is in the future video, I bet she's going to pop up right here. She helps individuals, small businesses, and sales reps engage with valuable content on social platforms. Now you know who she helps and how she does it. She's also known as the social selling maven, and her website is kathrynevans.net. So that gives a snapshot about who she works with, how she helps them, and the business problem that she solves, right? Let's talk now about Diana Prince. And if I could see you guys, I would give a cup of coffee to somebody who knows who that fictional character is. So Diana Prince, nurturing humanity and saving lives around the world. That's what she does. Also known as Superhuman, she works for DC Comics. She's also called a demigoddess. She's a time traveler. She's an all-around badass hero, aka Wonder Woman. So those are super definitive words that will help her target market find her when they're searching for her on a platform, because people search for people on LinkedIn. Next example. So the community director of Hera Hub is Andrea. And I just thought I would take an opportunity to help her out a little bit and give her some suggestions. And I threw a lot of information in here. It wasn't really the be-all, end-all headline, but I wanted to just give some examples of keywords that people who would be looking for Hera Hub, which is, you guys know maybe, it's a co-working space inspired for women. And so she is supporting female entrepreneurs through education, the how, mentoring, the how, and collaboration, what they do. Female-focused co-working, Hera Hub to get the word in, because people might search for Hera Hub, people that work at Hera Hub. They also are a business accelerator. And what is she doing? She's building a community of like-minded women. So those are 3 examples for you so that you can make a really compelling headline that answers those 3 questions about what business problem you solve, who you help, and how you help them. So that is all I have for you today. I wanted to make it short and sweet. And I just want to thank you so much for stopping in, learning some tips about creating your compelling digital footprint brand. I don't know, we got to get back to me on that, and how I'm going to be able to help you be the superstar that you should be. So thank you so much. And as always, 1:00 p.m. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us on Pinterest, because now my wonderful Crystal is posting my collateral pieces on Pinterest. Instagram, I've changed my name from SoBeFit LLC to The Real Kathryn E. Nunez. All of that information is too much to talk about. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I look forward to seeing you next week. Please post any questions you have. If you want to do a little bit of brainstorming about your headline, go to my Book Me calendar. I'll put that in the comments as well. And I'll give you 15 minutes and I'll do some brainstorming with you on your headline. So take care. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the summer-like weather in San Diego. Bye.